Yeah, welcome back to Wake Up America Weekend. The Trump administration suing New York over its sanctuary city policies. The suit claims that local police should send criminal immigrants directly to federal custody, which would cut the need for ICE raids in the city. For more on this, we are joined by journalist and New York Times bestselling author Ellis Hennigan, as well as author and host of Turley Talks, Dr. Steve Turley. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
So the Justice Department is arguing that New York sanctuary policies frequently, they put ICE officers in considerable risk of physical danger. And we know this all comes as an off-duty Border Patrol agent was just shot and injured during a botched robbery by two illegal immigrants. So Ellis, what's the fate of these sanctuary cities if they continue to protect criminal illegal immigrants?
TW, Mayor Adams, Governor Hochul, and the vast majority of New Yorkers do not want masked ICE agents swooping into Central Park and arresting the nannies who care for our children. Tom Homan may think that's legal. The courts are still deciding. But let me tell you, we in New York will not cooperate. We will not help them do that. We feel the same way about the bus boys and the dishwashers and the construction workers and all the other immigrants that are our friends and our neighbors and the people we go to church with. They can try to send them all to Alcatraz and the Florida Everglades, but you know what? We are not going to help them do it.
Well, nannies are one thing, but what about those that are committing violent criminals? Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Trump administration is counting on the ethos of this case precisely in the way that you framed it, to be just bottom line a political loser for the Democrats. And again, the key here is that this isn't just about the law courts. This is about the court of public opinion. The lawsuit comes in the wake, as you noted, of the shooting of the off-duty CBP agent in New York City. And we're finding out from the chief of the New York Police Department, John Schell, that the fellow accused of the shooting apparently had a detainer for November 6th. He was in front of a judge on November 30th, but because of New York's sanctuary city laws, they couldn't detain him. So he goes out to do a robbery in December. He stabs someone in the Bronx in January. He goes to Massachusetts and commits kidnapping and armed robbery, ties people up. I mean, a reasonable person would listen to that and say, that's just nuts. I mean, forget whatever justification you have for sanctuary cities and going to church with an undocumented immigrant. Who on earth would remotely defend policies that allow for that?
Well, there are a lot of people defending those policies, unfortunately. Ellis, I mean, he brings up a good point, right? As I mentioned, not everybody that comes to this country illegal is a nanny who just wants to help children and families and earn money. There are some bad guys, right? How do we make the distinction? And what's wrong with rounding up those people? Why is it that there seems to be sanctuary cities to protect them?
In any group, what we know is about somewhere around 90% of the people that have been deported under these policies have had no violent criminal records. Zero, nothing at all. They're people who are here paying taxes and working hard. Yes, Steve, they are a lot more like nannies and dishwashers and guys in front of the Home Depot than they are the occasional monster that you describe. By the way, maybe Steve doesn't know this, but already the New York Police Department turns those kinds of people over. We do cooperate in cases of violence, in cases of violent criminals. What you guys want to do is swoop in and do the same kind of stuff you did in Los Angeles. And I can promise you this, you may or may not get the courts to let you do it, but never, ever, ever will New Yorkers cooperate with you arresting our friends and neighbors and the people we go to church with. Never going to happen.
Yeah, but
never going to happen.
But here's the other thought. We know that these sanctuary cities, they actually have laws against releasing the location of illegal immigrants. I guess, Steve, should that be the case for criminals also?
Yeah, no, of course not. I mean, again, I think Ellis is being a little bit overly optimistic here. The winds are moving in the different direction. The problem is that sanctuary cities are increasingly politically unviable, and that's because they ultimately end up splitting the political left while uniting the political right. So among the most recent polling data, Democrats are relatively split over support for sanctuary cities. The latest July Harvard-Harris poll just dropped a couple of weeks ago, found that 52% of self-identified Democrat voters opposed sanctuary city laws. So it basically splits down the middle, whereas an overwhelming number of Republicans, 70%, oppose sanctuary cities, so which relatively mirrors the aggregate opposition, which is around 65%. Even in New York City, Emerson found that support for sanctuary policies only reached 46%. I mean, it cuts
All right,
down
Steve.
the middle.
Makes sense. I got in it there. Hella Sinekin, Dr. Steve Turley, we appreciate your insight, gentlemen. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Good to see you guys.
you.
Thank you.